My 50 greatest albums of all time. To say this is a challenge is definitely an understatement. So hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. Now and yes, my top 50 albums of all time, but in the title you'll see this is only 50 to 26. This is part 1. So yes, of course, before we get started on the video, a few things which I need to go over. Number 1, of course, I will address the title of the video first. Yeah, we're splitting this into 2 parts. I thought it'd be very cool to do like a double part video. Like leave this video on some sort of a cliffhanger, what albums are coming next in the 25 to 1 category. So yeah, I thought I'd split this into 2. The second part you will not see uploaded straight away. So there'll be a few more videos on my channel before I do that part, so I want to leave you guys hanging a bit so you guys will be mind blown when it comes. You guys won't be. You'd probably be like, oh, well, yeah, kind of predictable. But, I will leave you guys hanging for a bit so you guys can think, oh, what's going to come in the top 25? So this is just 26 through to 50. Also, a couple quick things. Lighting in my room is not great. It's a miserable grey day in England. So I've got my little lamp here. Look, my little lamp. How cute is this? So I've got my little lamp here. Also, been away for a while again. Haven't been away. It's been a while since I uploaded a video. My life has just become incredibly busy recently, so I have to apologise for the lack of videos recently. But I do plan on, as I say, doing at least 1 video a week. Fingers crossed for 2 some weeks. So don't worry, the videos are still going to be coming. I'm going to be as frequent as I can with the videos. So don't worry about me going anywhere, because I'm not. They just won't be. Because for a while I was doing 3-4 videos a week. Unfortunately, that probably won't be the case it might be at some point in the future, but at the minute it is unfortunately not the thing that's going to be happening here on this channel because I've got so much stuff going on. But I do plan to at least keep 1, fingers crossed for 2 videos a week now. So yeah, we've got that going on. Also, this is the bit where I have to give a huge thank you. A massive thank you. 2,000 subscribers. I know, 2,000. I honestly, speechless, really. It's incredible that I've got here. If you'd said to me 2-3 years ago, whenever I started this thing, you're going to get 2,000 subscribers, I would have said, piss off, you're joking. Anyway, but we are here, so I want to thank every single person who's taken the time to subscribe, every loyal viewer, every loyal commenter, every person who has liked the video, everyone who's just been supporting the channel. Thank you so much. It honestly does mean the world to me, because it's just so nice to know that people enjoy what I'm doing here, and that's why I keep going. I keep going to please my viewers, and I keep going to make you smile and hopefully bring you entertainment here on this channel. 2,000 subscribers contest is on the way. I still don't know what I'm going to do for it yet. That's why it's not here yet. But I will promise you now it will be here by the end of the month, November. So the contest will run throughout December and probably some of January. But there is a 2,000 subscribers contest coming, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, the winner will win a record or something like that. We'll come up with it when we get there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for the 2,000. That's incredible. And I am incredibly grateful. But anyway, as I say, let's get on to the actual topic here, because we're nearly 4 minutes in and we're not even there yet. So, as I say, we're going to be going over my top 50 albums. These albums are not set in stone. This is just how I feel for right here, right now. Also, I wanted to put a bit of variety in here. I didn't want to just fill the list up with Eric Clapton or Beatles records, because I could quite easily do that. So I've tried to be a bit diverse here. It's like, as I say, I'm trying to be a bit open here, a bit open-minded, which I don't normally do, so it's hard. But anyway, as I say, we're going to be going over 50 through to 26, and we're going to be doing 25 through to number 1 at some point in the future, probably in a week or 2. The video won't be too far away, but I'm not going to do it straight after this one. Did want to do a couple quick honourable mentions, because there's a couple albums here which I really wanted to include, but generally just couldn't. These ones here got so close to making my list. So I'm going to give these albums a quick shout out. Now it's the Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet. The Police, Synchronicity. John Lennon, Imagine. The Stone Roses. The Stone Roses. Tears for Fears. Songs from the Big Chair. The Beatles. Rubber Soul. Eric Clapton and J.J. Cale. Road to Escondido. And Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. And also I'm going to give one more shout out to the Smiths. The Queen is Dead, which is sitting right behind me. So anyway, they're the honourable mentions. I really wanted to include there, but as I say, just run out of space a bit, unfortunately. So them ones there, just so you guys know, they would have been close. They were very close. But anyway, before we get into the actual list, quick drink. Oh, that was good. Make sure you guys got a drink as well and some popcorn. Don't have to have popcorn, I'm kidding. Anyway, so here we go. This is exciting. Coming in at number 50. As I say, you guys probably aren't going to agree with all of these. And feel free to leave your lists below in the comments. As I say, not set in stone. It's just how I'm feeling right here, right now. But anyway, no more excuses. No more excuses. If you guys don't like the list, you're not going to like it. But anyway, here we go. Coming in at number 50 is Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. Just a classic album from '73. You know, the title track is incredible. You've got Jet on here. You've got Bluebird. Miss Vanderbilt. Let Me Roll It with some great rocking, great rocking song there. And then we got Picasso's Last Words and 1985, which I also really love. So this record is very solid. Has a couple weak moments on it for me, like Pneumonia and No Words. Especially No Words. But all in all, a very solid album. The A-side is just pure entertainment, and the B-side has some real shining moments as well. Mainly that closing song. Number 49 is going to be by a newer artist who I've recently fallen in love with, who I will have a complete vinyl collection video on very soon. And that is Joe Bonamosca, and this is Black Rock. So this album cover completely sucks. But for those of you who don't know, Joe Bonamosca is a modern heavy blues musician. And, he's grown up his whole life listening to fantastic guitarists such as Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix, But of course he's also been inspired by the famous blues musicians such as Eric Clapton again, the Kings, Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson. So he takes a lot of that into his albums, and you get these very modern, heavy sounding blues albums. But I really love this one because it's kind of out of Joe's comfort zone a bit, where he actually takes a Spanish influence, and he's gone off to Spain to record a lot of this album, and it has a very magical feel to it. I love Athens and Athens. Birds on a Wire is great. Spanish Boots is a very heavy rock song, which sounds fantastic. And the whole album is really just an incredible experience. This is such a unique album. That's why it had to make the list, because I don't know any other album that has a feel like that. So coming in at number 48 is going to be a Stones album. It is going to be Sticky Fingers. So I mean, this is, for a lot of people, the Rolling Stones highlight album. For me, there will be another Stones album at some point in the top 25. I'm not going to say where, I'm not going to say which one, or ones, might be more than one. But this one here is great. You've got some fantastic tracks on here. The whole album has this really unique feel. There's a couple songs on it, of course, which aren't quite as fun. But the thing that does it for this album with me, it has one of the best openers ever. And, the album overall is just incredibly solid. So a very, very fun album. Okay, next one up is actually going to be quite a recent release from quite an old art. Well, not an old art. Well, he is an old artist, but not quite an old artist. When I say quite an old artist, I make it sound like he's ancient. A recent album from a kind of old artist. That is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Hypnotic Eye, of course. Very strange here. I'm going to look at the back for the album tracks, and they're actually on the front. So this is just such a unique feel for Tom Petty. I loved the album before this, Mojo. I thought Mojo was great. But this one does what they knew they done wrong on Mojo. Mojo is chock full of songs. It's got so many songs on it. There are a couple weak moments. So what they done is they said, okay, we're going to make this album a single vinyl, and we're going to cut out the dead wax, and we're just going to put on the songs which we feel are great. So what we basically got here is a very similar album to Mojo, but a very stripped down one which is very solid. And yeah, as I say, American Dream Plan B is fantastic. Fault Line, Red River, Full Grown Boy, Power Drunk, Forgotten Man, You Get Me High, and Burnt Out Town are fantastic songs. So, a very, very good album there. Here we get an album which will probably be in a lot of people's top 10, I reckon. I reckon top 10. Easy. And that is Genesis, Selling England by the Pound. Of course, this is when Peter Gabriel was with Genesis. And it is this is Peter Gabriel's highlight, I really think. Maybe throughout his whole career. It's got some fantastic stuff on here. Frith of Firth, of course, is fantastic. The Battle of Epping Forest is just incredible. The cinema show is great. And this album here, again, has a unique feel to it. I don't know another album which has the same feel, the same feelings to it like this one does. So, yeah, that one there had to make the list. So, anyway, 45, number 45 this is. And this one here I would have really liked to put higher. But as it is a covers album, I thought, you know, I can't put this one quite as high as it should be. And that is From the Cradle by Eric Clapton. This is the first album which he released after the death of his son. Very sad, tragic event. And as I say, really would want to put this album top 20, at least, because this album is incredible. You know, even the sticker says it. Masterpiece. And we all know that's true. It's a fantastic album. It's all covers, though. Hence why I couldn't really put it in as high as it should be. But this album, from start to finish, is blues at its best. Number 44 is a very underrated album by a very underrated artist. And it is George Harrison's self-titled album, George Harrison. You know, a lot of people will probably put quite a few of George's albums over this. You know, a lot of people would at least put 33 1/3 and Somewhere in England over this album, I would think. But for me, I think this is such a superior album. Love Comes to Everyone is fantastic. Even Mr. Clapton went and covered it as a tribute on his 2005 Back Home album. Not Guilty is fantastic. Here Comes the Moon, a great little nod and wink to that famous song from that famous album. Blown Away is just beautiful. Faster, incredible Formula 1 song there. Love it. And If You Believe. It's a little bit cheesy, but I really do like that song. I like a little bit of cheesy music here and there. Number 43 is an album from this year. We've got an album from this year in. Number 43. So yeah, I generally adore this album. I'm just going to hold it up. Joe Bonamassa again. This is his second entry into my top 50 list. This is Blues of Desperation. His most recent album from 2016. And this is incredible. This Train, that one does get a little bit repetitive, I guess. That's not my favourite song on here. Definitely not the best choice for a single. But a very good rocking track. Mountain Climbing is that's the golden song on here. That should have been the single. That one is fantastic. No Good Place for the Lonely. Fantastic. Blues of Desperation. Brilliant. Like a bit of prog mixed in there with blues music. The Valley Runs Low. Beautiful song. How Deep This River Runs is great. So yeah, generally, number 43. Blues Desperation by Joe Bonamassa. If you haven't picked it up and you want to get into some music from this year, that is the album to go to, in my opinion, if you're into the same type of music that I'm into. Number 42. I'm trying to keep track of the numbers in here, so apologies if I go off a bit. Number 42 is another Eric Clapton album. I promise this list isn't completely full of Clapton albums. There's not too many coming up for a while now. And that is Journeyman. And as I say, this is a fantastic album from Eric. Eric had a very weak period during the 80s, and his album before this, August, generally wasn't great. So he needed an album to pull himself back into the limelight a bit. And this album did it with Pretending, which was a fantastic single. Anything for Love is great. Bad Love is incredible. Hard Times is great. I think that's Eric's personal favourite track on the album. He even covers Elvis Presley's Hound Dog on here. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but me being not an Elvis fan, well, I don't mind him, but I'm not really a big fan of him. I really actually love the twist that Eric puts on the song, so I really like Eric's version. No Alibis is fantastic. Old Love is great. Breaking Point's great. And Before You Accuse Me is great as well. So, a great album, I guess you could say. What was that? I think that was 42, 44, 43, 42, 41 is going to Masterpiece, Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. Now, anyone who has anything bad to say about this album, I don't know what you're listening to for a start. But this is an incredible record. How the opens up with Custard Pie is fantastic. I really like it. And then, of course, we get side 2, which is perfect from start to finish. How's It the Homely, which, of course, is titled after their album before this. Trampled Underfoot is great. And then In the Light on the next side is great. Down by the Seaside I really like. Night Flight is good. And, you know, it really is just a very entertaining album. Okay, so 44, 43, 42, 41. And number 40. A lot of people are going to be going, what are you doing? Why are you putting this album so high? I'm putting this album so high because it's so damn entertaining. I put it on and I always have a good time. There's no doubt about it. It's not a very intelligent album. It's not a masterpiece, but it is fun. It is a fun album. And every time I put it on, I always find myself singing along. And that is Genesis, Invisible Touch. Very cheesy 80s Phil Collins sound here, but Invisible Touch is great. Tonight's great. Land of Confusion is great. Throwing It All Away is great, and The Brazilian is great. Definitely one of the albums which I debated about putting on this list, but it's fun, so it's going on there. Number 49 is going to my first entry by The Who, and it is Quadrophenia. So yeah, Quadrophenia is, of course, a very well-known album, double album. Double albums have a much harder time, I think, because, you know, they've got to put more music onto 2 records here. So the fact when a double album makes this list, I feel even more inclined to speak so highly of it. But this one here, I Am the Sea, is a great track. Cut My Hair is actually a really good track. I'm One is really good. I've Had Enough is great. 5:15 is incredible. I love that song. Dr. Jimmy's great. And Love Reor Me. I think that's how you say it. I love that song, but I never know how to say the bloody title. But anyway, this is a great album. Another one which you gotta have. Okay, 38. Here we go. Everyone prepare. Roll eyes. Eric Clapton again. Backless. Oh, come on, you knew it's me. Eric's going to make the list a lot. I love the guy. So anyway, this one opens up so well with Walk Out in the Rain. Watch Out for Lucy is also great. Then we've got Early in the Morning, Promises, Golden Ring, and Tulsa Time. The thing with this album is I find the middle is not great. The middle just is very good. Still good though. But for this album, it opens up brilliantly and it closes brilliantly. So yeah, Backless. That was 38, so this must be 37. It is another Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers one, and it is Southern Accents. I really do love this album. A lot of people tend to overlook this one and go for Damn the Torpedoes, or of course, you know, some of the later great masterpieces, such as Full Moon Fever. But, you know, it opens up with Rebels, which, great song, nothing bad to say about that one. Don't Come Around Here No More is great. The title track is fantastic. Dogs on the Run is great. Mary's New Car, fantastic. And The Best of Everything. So, I really do like that album. Got a very big soft spot for it. Okay, 37. A lot of you are going to be surprised that I'm putting this in my top 50. And I'm generally not the biggest fan of this artist. I respect him. He's a fantastic songwriter. But I don't like listening to him much because I'm not a big fan on his style of singing. However, saying that, I can't take anything away from these songs. These songs are incredible. They're perfect. Bob Dylan's Highway 61 Revisited. You know, this has Like a Rolling Stone, Tombstone Blues, title track, of course, Desolation Row. It's, you know, this album here has some of the best lyrics in the history of lyrics on it. So yeah, I really couldn't put this album out of my top 50. As I say, love Bob Dylan, I do. I think he's a fantastic songwriter. But I don't really put Bob Dylan on to listen to. I like to just... I think Bob Dylan's great for his lyrics. And that album there has some of the best lyrics ever on it. Okay, 36 I believe now. I'm going to start going faster because I can see we're at the 20-minute mark. Another very heart-throbbing album, and that is Plastic Ono Band by Mr. John Lennon. You know, from the opening track, Mother, to the closing track, God, every track on here really just has such emotion behind it and such rawness to it. It really does make you go, wow, these are some fantastic songs. And John's vocals on here, you can tell how raw they are, so I have to give that album a lot of thumbs up. Okay, next one up is going to be a 90s album, and it is R.E.M. Out of Time. And, you know, this is just another fun album from start to finish. Just so many fun moments on here. From radio songs, Losing My Religion, Shiny Happy People, a bit of a funny song, but I love it. And, you know, I don't think this album holds up as well as some others on this list, that's for sure. But, again, it's a bit like Invisible Touch. I have a lot of fun with this album, so I really had to put it somewhere in this list. Okay, next one up, very popular one here in the VC, and that is Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney. Let's not forget Linda McCartney's Ram. Very weird, very wacky album, but again, it has such a unique sound to it with songs like Too Many People, Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, Smile Away, which I love, In the Heart of the Country, beautiful, beautiful Paul song, and In the Backseat of My Car. Just such awesomeness behind them songs, you know, it's had to make the list. I believe that's 35, I've actually lost count now, so we're 26, hang on, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, oh, I'm well off. Okay, 32 is going to go to Damn the Torpedoes, Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. Of course, we've already given this one shout out. But here it is again. And this album here, again, from start to finish. Refugee, Here Comes My Girl. I'm actually not the biggest fan of that song. But, again, that one there is one of his more popular tracks. Even the Losers, Shadow of a Doubt, Don't Do Me Like That, and Louisiana Rain, of course. So again, just another really, really solid album. And then here we go, we've got another Stones one, and here it is, we've got Let It Bleed. Now, I do really enjoy this album, the title track is fantastic. To be honest, the A-side is just perfection, really. The B-side also has some fantastic moments on here, with You Can't Always Get What You Want, of course. Okay, so now we're at 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And here we have another entry by The Who, and this is Who's Next. Best, you know, if I was to, well, I done my favourite album openers. This one came very close to making that list, and album closers, this would most likely make the list as well, with Won't Get Fooled Again, so. This album is great, you know, there's a couple tracks which are a bit like that, but it opens so well and closes so well. It's an album which is pretty entertaining from start to finish. 27, 28, 29. I believe this is 29 actually, I've gone out of count, that was 30. I'm sorry. 461 Ocean Boulevard by Mr. Clapton again. So yeah, again, just another fantastic blues album here. Motherless Children's great, Give Me Strength, Willie and the Handjive, Get Ready, I Shot the Sheriff, Let It Grow, you know, fantastic. The A-side is perfect, the B-side has a couple wobbly moments, but overall, very, very entertaining album. And next one up, number 28, is Parallel Lines by Blondie. So yeah, great moments on here, Picture This is fantastic, One Way or Another, 11:59, I love that track. Sunday Girl, Heart of Glass, Just Go Away. You know, if you're telling me you don't have fun with that album, I don't know what you're into. Number 27 is going to be my first entry, I believe, by this band. I'm pretty sure. The Electric Light Orchestra, Face the Music. Very rock prog album here. It's like a mix of heavy rock and prog. Very unique sound. My favourite instrumental ever is on here, Fire on High. And then we got Waterfalls, Evil Woman, Knight Rider, Poker, Strange Magic, Down, Hometown, and One Summer's Dream. Great album. And number 26, the last one for this list, which is the only album I don't own on vinyl, but I will come December. Tom Petty, Wildflowers. Fantastic album. The title track is incredible. You Don't Know How It Feels is great. Only a Broken Heart. Honeybee. I really like Honeybee. Hard on Me. To a Friend. And Wake Up Time. You know, fantastic. So there it is, number 26. Wildflowers. I'm going to put this... I've broken it. I've broke the CD. I was going to put it there to stand up, but it's broken. Anyway, so that is it. That is the first part of my top 50 albums of all time. That is number 50 down to number 26. Number 25 down to number 1 will be up some point in the near couple weeks. Also, as I say, stay tuned for my 2,000 subscribers contest. So thank you guys for watching so much. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video and leave a message. I'll see you guys next time for another video.